Welcome back to NASCAR Thunder 04 modded career mode. Today, we're taking on Michigan. And when it comes down to Michigan, well, things aren't so Michigan, huh? I'm just joking. What am I saying? At any rate, Michigan is a very fast track and we got our work cut out for us. But with some wind in our sails from Pocono, could today be the day where we wind up finding a victory lane for the second time in a row? Well, you'll just have to tune in and find out. Did you guys know that Michigan is a track that I've never been to in real life? Welcome back. It's me, NASCAR. It's me, NASCAR legend. I'm losing my mind playing NASCAR Thunder. Anyways, 14 races are in the books, and I am Neko Dares playing NASCAR Thunder 2004's modded career mode. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying so far with the season. I feel a little bit higher in spirit right now because, as you guys know, at Pocono, we won the race, and that was huge for me to get a little bit more confidence back in the race and in the wheel, behind the wheel, in the cockpit, whatever. I got a lot more confident from that. So I feel much better about myself knowing that we've got a we got cars that can compete. Oh, we got cars that can compete. But we're going to Michigan, which is where Ford, Dodge, and Chevy are really going to want to show that they actually have the abilities. If I'm not mistaken, we've had a couple of people win the Series 400 race in the past, so we'll have to see how that kind of goes this time around. But anyways, we've already done everything we need to do in the garage, but we do have this last shop edition that's coming through for one race time, which will be great. And to keep up with the trend of what I've done already, I'm going to show you guys the next rendering of what could potentially be one of our cars if we decide to go with that manufacturer. Stand by to see what I'm about to surprise you guys with. This time around, it is the Crunchyroll number 52, which is Joe's car, Toyota Camry. Yep. Toyota has also reached out to us, and they heard about Nissan providing us a scheme, and they decided to do the exact same thing. They decided to scheme up a car, which just so happened to be Joe's car this time as well, where we get the logos and see what the car could potentially look like if we decide to go with it. I am okay with it, you know. It's a Toyota Camry. It is what it is, but we'll have to see what it, all boils down to. I'm not convinced on this one either. I'm not convinced on the Nissan, and I don't know. Maybe Honda will reach out at some point. We'll hear from them eventually. They've been taking the more lackadaisical approach with it. They don't really want to be like overbearing, and that's making me kind of happy right now. It's like, you guys ever been to those car dealerships and you walk on the lot, and as soon as you get out of your car, they're descending on you like massive flies, just like, oh, you're here to buy a car, I want to help you buy a car, type of thing. It's kind of annoying, and you're just like, dude, I'm just here to window shop. I'm not really window shopping right now, I might add. We do have to leave Pontiac, and again, I'm trying to keep this as far out of my mind as possible. But I mean, when these guys keep sending me over these updated schemes and these renderings of what the cars could look like, it does make me wonder, And don't worry, they've also sent me one for Steven's car as well. But I don't know. Maybe it's my Crunchyroll in me. And also, this is the first file I keep opening every time is the Joe car. So don't worry, they've sent me multiple different renderings of what could potentially be our car across the line. So right now, this would be the Crunchyroll mobile if it were to be a Toyota Camry. Sounds crazy, doesn't it? A Toyota, me, Neko, Toyota. I don't know. Maybe I'll go to Dodge. I'll keep my options open. Anyways, since we got to go to Michigan this time around, first of all, we're going to go ahead and quick select. We have a car that's rated 75. We actually kept the car clean after the last race, so we didn't have to worry about fixing it up too much. Only thing we did was probably just, buff out a scrape here or there, and of course, get rid of some of the tire marks on the side of the doors. But other than that, we have our car from Michigan. And the best thing to do now Well, we just got to go race because there ain't nothing else we can do at the shop. We've done everything. So I'll see you guys in Michigan for the first few laps of qualifying because we don't practice our car. We just race. Alrighty. Feels so good coming off of a win at Pocono. Now we get to come into Michigan, and we're at two tracks that really suit our car, like power wise. So I think we definitely have another good shot here for the Michigan race. I think that will help, especially with the confidence that I have in our team. So we'll see what happens. I think the biggest thing will be just to make sure we don't blow the motor up, you know. Okay, 8th. Too tight. We're in the wall. I don't know if we can make up any more on this lap. I think that just hurt it. We'll see. 37.61 is only good enough for third. We had a pole lap coming.
MRN is coming to you live from Michigan International Speedway for today's Sirius 400. What can we expect in this race, Barney?
Well, look for speeds approaching 200 miles an hour and cars running 3 and 4 wide. That's a recipe for some exciting stuff.
The MBNA car seems to always finish in the top 10.
Oh yeah, to have an average finish in the top 10 for the season is mighty impressive. It can often be the difference that wins the championship.
After finishing second twice to Dale Earnhardt Jr. for the Busch Series Championship, Kenseth beat him out for Rookie of the Year in 2000.
And he did it without qualifying well. Despite only 2 top 10 starting spots, he posted a 14th place points finish and a win and 11 top 10s.
Alrighty. Green flag. And by the way, Mark Martin ran a 37.3. Roush has got to be illegal. They've got to be illegal.
42 car wants to get by you. You're clear.
So what I went ahead and did after the qualifying laps, I went and adjusted the gears again because I ran into that issue at Dover where I had a really good qualifying setup, got into the race, got into some drafting, and the motor just couldn't support itself. You know, it couldn't support the amount of RPMs that we were running. So today's race, I decided to fix that for myself, and I've actually nerfed the motor a bit, so we're not hanging as many RPMs going down the straightaways, especially the gigantic D-shaped part of it. But I am beginning to feel like I am not getting enough speed off these corners to pass people. Definitely feel like Mark Martin's going to drive away from me on this, especially if Sterling Marlin stays in front of me. Jimmy is blocking. Jimmy's blocking me really hard. I can't get past Jimmy Johnson. I think what I'll do is I'll use him to work it out. Got to work my way around Mark Martin here. Slingshot engaged. I got loose. Man, I am really confused on Roush Racing's current dominance this season. Like I'm seeing guys up near the front that usually aren't that great, like Jeff Burton. Mark Martin has struggled. You know, he did win a championship in our first season, but he struggled mightily in season 2. And Mark Martin's got like a 1.7 second gap, and I can't even get past Jeff Burton. See, now we've spread out, and I'm in between 2 Fords, which is not ideal in the slightest, I might add. I don't think I'm getting down into the corner better than Mark Martin right now. He gained on me just a little bit again. It's back to 1.6. Got some cars on pit road here on lap 9, which is extremely early in my opinion for a pit stop, but it looks like we're going to be getting 2 stops in today if this is the case. think I might have had a better 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I think I might be closing in on Mark Martin here.
64.
That was your fastest lap so far. About 1.5 off the leader. Your right front tire's wearing down. Try another lap.
Yeah, I gained 3 tenths on Mark last lap. Coming up off the corner, trying my best to catch up to Mark. Come on.
Making up some
I
time.
lost the 10th that lap.
Right rear's getting warm. Keep an eye out.
This reminds me of Atlanta earlier this season.
Halfway on fuel.
I don't know if you guys remember and recall, but Atlanta earlier this season was just like this. I'm pretty sure Mark is like, bro, I am putting as much of a gap on him as I can. He is still catching. Actually, I think we might only get 1 pit stop in. I thought I said 2. I think it was 1.
Second on you.
So we haven't hit halfway on fuel yet, have we? Still 1.1.
Buddy, dig. 1 second. Just
Yellow's out. Oh, that's a big wreck, guys. Oh, it's big. And I'm in the wall. Whatever happened was huge. Guys, there's a lot of smoke. Can't see. Debris everywhere. Car coming up the track.
Got one high. 38.77.
Woo. My life just flashed before my eyes. Oh, Bill Elliott? Bill Elliott lost it, guys. In front of the field. And we got cars just piling in. Oh, cars piled in. Ooh, that's rough. So Bill Elliott lost a tire, guys. Tony Stewart, a couple others. Couldn't see all the aftermath, but perfect time for a pit stop because we can go to the end from here and we reset and are right behind Mark Martin. We're going to go ahead and repair the damage. It's not going to do much, but the rear deck lid is open. So I think aerodynamically we're going to struggle. So we're going to need the best pit stop from my team we can potentially get right now. And hopefully with our pit stop timing, we will come out ahead of Mark if possible. He's in, I'm in. 4 tires and fuel, guys. Come on. Not fast enough. That was a 16.2. Oh, come on. Oh, wow. The Roush Racing screw job.
We got some cars who didn't pit up front. Watch for traffic to stack up behind them.
Pace car is off, the field bunches up, and we are back underway. Green flag is in the air.
I got screwed. Matt Kenseth coming out of his pit stall, stopped me from going. You've got to be kidding me.
The 17 car, it's up high.
Oh, I got Steven behind me. I didn't see him back there.
Still there. All clear, buddy.
Take it easy out there.
Out my way, Roush.
Take care of those Goodyear Eagles.
I got Steven on my inside. So all those cars that just got saved by an early caution. But yeah, it was the 25 car losing some debris in turn 1. I did not know Steven was behind me. Hopefully he's actually on the same lap as me. I can't tell. That would have been great if that would have hit Mark Martin's car. Oh, I see John Andretti was in that little group. Steven's behind me. Got a few cars still a lap down.
Pace car is off. The field bunches up. And we're back underway. Green flag is in the air on the restart. As the field swings its way down towards
Excuse me.
Run it low. You're clear.
Excuse me, guys. Y'all are kind of in the way.
Back to third. Keep digging.
We were 3 wide there. Just gotta
Still beside you.
fight Ryan Newman back to the line. I need to be behind Mark Martin for the restart.
leader only has about a second.
Gosh. Another debris caution. There's been a lot of cautions this race. I had just complained about cautions not coming. Guys, we got all of our cautions today. So it looks like it was the 41 that may have lost some debris that time. Mark Martin is ahead of me, and he's going to stand to gain 20 points at this stage because I think he's got the bonus. He's got 5 points for leading the most, and he's got the 5 points for leading a lap. I need these lappers out of my way, man. They shouldn't have even been on the inside. Oh, come on, Riggs. What? I have another chance. I have another chance.
Clear on both sides. 41, 51.
Turn the car off. Save fuel. Save fuel. The fact that Steven is still up here in the top 5 is crazy to me. 77 loses his hood this time. We've got debris everywhere. I really wish I could have seen like the magnitude of that massive crash with the 91 car. Joe Adgie's back there in the back. So Joe is a little stuck, especially with all these cautions. Okay, it should be single file from here, right? It is. Good. Means I can go straight after Mark Martin. There is no way. There is absolutely zero way.
Number 12 is looking low.
What in the world are they doing with his car? It's gotta be illegal. It's gotta be. But he can't handle 3 and 4. I don't understand. He's got like all the speed in turns 1 and 2. 3 and 4, he's not that great. But I've got to run down the front stretch here. Gonna take the sling.
Stay on his back bumper.
You're at the point.
Finally to the lead, guys. I'm finally to the lead. Can breathe a little bit here. But this has definitely been a race. This is a race and a half. Now I've just got to maintain. It would be great if Steven can get to Mark Martin and pass him, because if he can do that, he can push forward back 1 more spot, which means we'll gain a little bit more points, and it would also help in my points battle. So I now need to hope Steven can just get Mark on his own. I can't help him. Although Roush did what they did on pit road, I can't manipulate anything on the track. So it's got to be just pure speed and ability.
You're halfway on fuel.
I think I'm good. I'm actually starting to leg one out here.
63.
Now I've got the 1.1 second gap on Mark Martin.
2 more times around.
That should tell y'all the pace that I was running, because I'm still running the same laps without the draft now. And Mark Martin has like that good long run speed, but short run, I think I'm better, because right now I've got the short run down. And I'm happy I told my team to fix the damage, because the deck lid is not as high up in the sky, which is helping my car a little bit better.
37, 90.
Awesome lap. 1 lap to go. The white flag waves, and we are on our final circuit around the racetrack.
down the back stretch. I can't believe I'm about to say it, but if I get through 3 and 4 properly, which I'm not taking any risks, now that I'm going through 3 and 4, I think we've got ourselves a back-to-back victory. I think for the second time this season, we win in Michigan with Steven coming home in the top 5. Wish he could have got past Mark Martin, but it is what it is. You know what that means? Time to celebrate. Wait, can we go to? Can we enter victory lane here? Oh no, we can't enter victory lane here. Yeah, they got it cordoned off. Oh, that sucks. Okay, well, you know what that means? We'll just do it on the logo. If I can get the car to spin, there we go. And on the logo, we will write our name. We got the win. I'm just happy we won, and that's all that matters. Let's go.
Lead changes were pretty scarce.
Yeah, there weren't too many battles up front for position. Those guys who ran in the top 5 were pretty dominant all race long.
The MBNA car really did a fantastic job keeping his car away from trouble all race long.
Well, it's going to be a happy crew when they get back to the shop. They can immediately go to work on next week's car without having to worry about fixing anything from this race, and that makes for a much less stressful atmosphere.
So I was told after the race by my crew that the reason why Mark Martin started fading in the later stages of the race was because the Roush engine that he has underneath the hood actually lost a cylinder. Actually, almost all the Roush cars had some kind of motor problem in literally the last 5 laps of the race. So that's why Mark Martin fell back after I passed him. His motor was giving up, and once I got by, I mean, there was nothing else he could do. He couldn't really mount another charge back at me. So it was a miracle that he finished second, considering one of his other teammates DNF'd. But we'll get to that in a second. First of all, our second straight win in a row, but we've only led 4 of the 34 laps, as Mark Martin did win the points battle in terms of laps led, which means he actually was 5 points behind. So he actually lost only 5 points to me today, which isn't great. Needs to actually get bigger margins on him. Steven coming from 40th to finish 30th, third. I said 30th. Sorry, Steven. Steven coming from 40th to finish third at his home track. Really good for him. Good showing. Matt Kenseth, Ryan Newman, Sterling Marlin, Rusty Wallace, Ricky Craven, Kevin Harvick, and Jeremy Mayfield round out the top 10. John Andretti actually was one of those cars that was behind or in front of the leaders in one of those cautions. I think the second caution of the day. John Andretti managed to catch up and finish 11th because there weren't that many cars that were a lap down or more at that time. So he was like on the tail end of the lead lap, but he was also close to being a lap down. And there was only 2 cars that were a lap down near the end. So John Andretti rallied back to finish in 11th. Jimmy Johnson, 12th, Dale Jr., 13th, Robbie Gordon and Joe finishing in the top 15. So Joe, being consistent, and that's what we wanted out of Joe, is being his consistency today. Bill Elliott winds up, after causing the caution, wound up finishing 20th, Bobby Labonte 19th, Jeff Gordon 18th, and Elliott Sadler 17th. With all the stuff that happened on the track, we got to figure out who was left. Brian Vickers, as we saw, Scott Riggs, were also down some laps. They were down 1 lap each. Ken Schrader seemed to have been down 2 laps. Stanton Barrett did not finish the race. Jeff Burden also finished down there in 35th. If I'm not mistaken, he was up near the front at one point. So to see Jeff Burden 35th on the last lap definitely means that something had happened with his Roush motor as well. Stanton Barrett only was able to do 13 laps. Ward Burton did 12. Greg Biffle was out of the race after he blew his motor. Kyle Busch lost, got in that big accident and also broke down. So did Jeff Green. So we had a slew of DNFs near the end of the race or in the middle parts when Bill Elliott crashed or lost a tire. I don't know what happened. He just spun out, and that was very uncharacteristic of Bill Elliott. So can't really explain it, but I can explain that Roush had a few issues with their engine near the end, which is why Mark Martin was unable to make up any ground to me after I got past him. And honestly, kind of happy about that. I guess I got around him at the right time, because if not, I don't think I was going to catch that man. So I'm really happy with today's result. And Pontiac wound up scoring just enough points, I think, because, with me finishing first and then, of course, Steven taking third, that's 2 Pontiac scoring points for the manufacturer's championship. Ford gets 2 cars to also score points, which is Mark Martin and Matt Kenseth. And then the only Dodge to score any points was Ryan Newman. Chevy didn't score any points in this race because I think the highest finishing Chevy was 8th place is Ricky Craven, and 8th place doesn't get points for manufacturer's chase. So as it stands, I'm not sure. Let's go home and, see the official points tabulation from NASCAR. Pocono's momentum carrying into Michigan is kind of poetic in its own way. But the good news is we're 46 points ahead of Mark Martin. We were looking at only being 21 points ahead had he finished first, but we mitigated that by getting past him. And then, of course, he was unable to make another charge back at me. So he's only 46 points back. Rusty Wallace, Jeff Gordon, John Andretti are your top 5 in the standings. Kurt Busch, Matt Kenseth, Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Burton, and Sterling Marlin are the top 10. Tony Stewart has fallen outside the top 10 by 2 points, which is not good for the Joe Gibbs Racing driver. Neither is Bobby Labonte's current standings, being in 12th. Joe Nemechek is slowly beginning to falter. He has fallen and seen himself just drop out of the top 10, and he's not that far back, but he's far enough back, if you guys catch what I'm saying here. Dale Jr. is 21st, so we're starting to see Dale Jr.'s rise through the standings just a little bit, ever so slightly. Of course, Greg Biffle's DNF hurt his championship chase hopes. Steven is now 34th in the standings. Joe is 38th in the standings, so you can see what the parallels of finishing better helps with certain drivers. So good to see that Steven's up there. Joe hopefully will do really well at Infineon, but it's Infineon, it's a road course, and we can't expect too much out of road courses. The good news is our shop edition for the wheel balancer is officially done. So we now have the wheel balancing, and we can also probably work on some other things, like maybe the body forming tools for $450,000. We'll go ahead and do that to see if we can get ourselves a last second ditch effort for the series, for the season. As far as the car bodies go, since we do have a break in speedways, I think it would be wise for me to go ahead and repair this one speedway body here so that we can go into the next couple of speedway races after with all the equipment being refreshed, since we have everything that's going to be fresh on the body side. And then we're going to work on the, other stuff, because we still got some work to do on some other things that we are in desperate need of. But this will put a large majority of our speedway stuff back on the same level, minus the chassis and engines that we were using, because those are already offset by, I think, 2 races. So we're just going to go ahead and do that. That was a lot for me to say, I know. Overall, we still have 3 more races left with our sponsors. So I've got to say those sponsors are due at some point soon. But we will see what happens next. Infineon is the next race, and I'm not entirely certain how to feel about it. I do know it's the Dodge Save Mart 350, and we've done pretty well at the road courses in the past. Hopefully this time around, the road courses will provide us with exactly what we're looking for: a good, exciting, and clean race. If you like today's video, hit that like and subscribe button. I'll see you guys next time. Easy, everybody.